What's going on, guys? Welcome to another live stream session with Phrankleen. If you're watching these as a playback, thank you for doing so. If this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to my show. Don't forget to smash the like button. Um, give consideration to smashing the subscribe button so that you're notified when I'm online, when I'm, live streaming. Let's see who's online. If you can hear me, you can see me, smash the like button, smash the like button. Okay. What's going on, people? I'm all right, thank you. I'm absolutely fine. What's going on, my people? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, where you are. So, the show is a bit late tonight. Smash the like button so we can get the show started. Smash that like button. So these made rounds on the news, and I wanted to talk about it. It involves a young black boy here in the UK. What's up, Isla? Greetings. I'm streaming on my laptop, so I've got a giant soft box behind the laptop here. Can't be bothered to set up my camera and all that. Right, before I crack on with the show, it's very important that I say this, okay? Anybody that's waiting to hear from Phrankleen regarding their IFA Divination, I'm pushing hard that by this weekend, everybody will have been served, okay? So just bear with me, all right? So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I've got a wonderful service set up for the Black community. As a proud practitioner of IFA, African spirituality, it's the way of life for me. So I'm able to take divination orders from people, and I'm working with reliable, well-tested, genuine IFA priests that can help you with compatibility checks, um, divination checks about anything, anything in your life. Okay, it could be about your career, what direction you're taking your life, and also akosajaye for those that understand Yoruba. Basically, what are you called to this life to do? It's called predestination check. Kadara check. Predestination check is what did the universe appoint you to do in this planet, and it's amazing. Normally, in line with the practice of Ifa, this is done for newborn babies within the first 40 days of arriving to this earth. But if that was never done for you, you can definitely get it done. Okay, and the benefits of Ifa divination, one of the major benefits is helped a lot of people. It helps you to be able to recalibrate if there are attacks, if those mothers of the night are involved in your affairs, creating roadblocks, blocking your progress in life, suppressing you, subjugating you in one way or the other. You can do appeasements, you can do sacrifices, eboriru, you can get the chains broken and break free and go enjoy your life. It could be your children, it could be you. Compatibility checks about relationships. You're dating someone or you're contemplating on dating someone or marrying someone. Are you aligned spiritually? Shentori enyoni. Should you make life decisions? You want to go to the UK, you want to go live in the US, you want to go live in Canada. Are you spiritually aligned? Should you align with that location? Is there a looming danger? Is there prospects for you to succeed in that location? Ifa can answer anything. You understand me? So yeah, that's what it's about. So a lot of people have come to me for Kosajaye predestination checks, divinations, and rolling them out in batches and stuff. So if you're waiting on Phrankleen, just please exercise a bit more patience. I'm pushing hard in the background. By the weekend, I will have dealt with everyone that's waiting to hear from me. And if you're interested, just bang me an email. My email is at the bottom of the screen, and then I'll sort you out later. All right. So the story. Wow, it's 5 minutes in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for your eyeballs and eardrums. Don't forget to smash the like button. All right. So the story caught my attention. It was doing rounds on the UK media. Well, because it went viral, it was exposed, and the mainstream media talked about it just for a little bit. It's kind of gone quiet, as they normally do. You know, another thing that I've observed is, have you noticed that if there's anything to do with racism, oppression, discrimination, and all that stuff, the establishment, the states, the mainstream media, they put a lot of effort into suppressing and concealing. Uh, Thanks to social media, um, whistleblowers and individual efforts normally push things out. And then when things go viral, then you see the mainstream media jumping on it and then trying to talk about it. That's the usual practice. But their first usual approach to things is to connive, to close ranks, and to suppress. So if you don't give up, you will get justice. So let me share my screen. Just give me a quick second. Let's talk about this young man. Let me share my screen. Just give me a second. Chrome tab. Right, here we go. Give me a second, please. Right. Right. So that's the screen on there. Boy 11 loses finger. Allegedly. Oh, they said allegedly, right? He was fleeing bullies. So that's the boy. He's called Raheem. That's his mom. You can clearly see mom's distraught. They said they're struggling to come to terms with what happened. So we're going to read through the article, and then I'll talk about. I can share my own views in the end. A boy had a finger amputated after he injured himself fleeing bullies at school. His mother said Raheem Bailey, 11, caught his finger while climbing a fence to escape. After 6 hours of surgery, doctors could not save the finger. His mother, Chantal, said the pupil at Abertillery learning community was subjected to racist abuse and bullying because he's small for his age. Gwent police and Gwent council investigating what happened. Miss Bailey said her son was attacked on Tuesday by a group of children who kicked him when he was on the floor. She explained how he caught his finger in the fence trying to escape, and after surgery, it was decided to amputate. It's sad. That's the poor kid. That's Raheem. That's Raheem and the hospital bed, man. It's so devastating, man. The poor child. That's Raheem. Now, Raheem is now home with his family. We're struggling to understand what has happened. He's amazing, but he's in a lot of pain. Of course, he's just lost a finger. Sometimes he will start saying, "Mommy, I didn't lose my finger. I was just having a really bad dream." Or I'm having a dream, right? And I have to bring him back because I don't want to lie to him and I don't want to pretend. That's his mom. I have to, it's really sad, man. I have to have a gentle, straightforward conversation with him, just letting him know that this did happen and we have to look forward. I'm grateful and happy he's alive. He actually said he was worried and thought that he could have died. He just couldn't get away no matter what he did. That's sadly that's the area where um, the missing finger used to be, right? You can see that. The poor kid. He didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve this. This was poorly reported by the mainstream media, as you'd expect. Um, she said he was appalled at the school. She said she was appalled at the school, adding, until now, the school has not contacted me one time, has not tried to reach out to see how Raheem is getting on. Can you imagine? At the start of the school year, Miss Bailey said a pupil told Raheem he came from a poor country and she reported it to the school. Did you hear that? At the start of the school year, Miss Bailey said a pupil told Raheem he came from a poor country and she reported it to the school. So you would want to ask yourself, you know, an 11-year-old, which should be Raheem's age mate, telling him based on his looks and color that he came from a poor country. So that tells you that that 11-year-old kid that said the same thing, that's made that statement to Raheem, was fed those toxicity from home. Because all children are usually innocent. They're growing when they start to get to age of, maybe roughly 10 and 10 plus and all that. So the upbringing from each person's background start to reflect. Because you'd ask yourself, why would an 11-year-old, another 11-year-old on the playground or on the school premises be able to come up and look at another child and say, hey man, you came from a poor country? You understand? She said since then, her son had mentioned incidents here and there, but she felt her son had been holding on to the amount of pain he had been feeling. Gwen Police said, we received a report of an incident at a school around 13 BST on Wednesday, 18th May. An 11-year-old was injured. Multi-agency meeting has taken place and we're working with the school as part of our ongoing inquiries. You see, I'm gonna talk about this line in a moment. This multi-agency meeting taking place or that took place. The spokesperson for the school said, we are currently working closely with the police and local authority to establish the full details. The well-being and safety of our pupils and staff remains paramount. We will not be commenting further at this time. Following the incident, Ms. Bailey also set up a fundraising page to try and raise money for a prosthetic finger for her son, which has already far exceeded its £10,000 target. Right? Now, that's the story. Let's go back to the screen. Right. So that's the story pretty much. All right. And it's heartbreaking. But you see, here's the thing. When I saw this, the news broke, I smiled. And the reason I smiled was, here's another one. There are plenty of stories. There's another story that's trending right now. I don't even know if I can talk about that on YouTube because they would try to flag it and all that, of another young black girl whose undies was ripped away from a private part by police officers. Look, I can go on and on. And you see, what I wanted to talk about is, and apart from empathizing with the young kid, is hoping that some black folks can learn from this and we can educate ourselves, right? Whenever you hear these people talk about multi-agency nonsense, right? The multi agency meetings, and I'm telling you from experience here in the UK, it's a cult, it's a gang. All right. What they do is they close ranks. They it's sort of like a bunch of dodgy police officers, conniving to falsify, witness statements, and stuff like that. There's multi agencies that connive to conceal, to close ranks, to suppress the truth, to discredit the true account, and find ways to protect the establishment. They're gatekeepers, they're extensions of the local authority. So the multi agencies comprises of the so-called safeguarding unit, um, which the local police, the school itself, the local GP surgeries, and health centers and all that stuff, right? Um, Usually, when it comes to you know ethnic minorities and children of black kids and all, of black families and stuff like that, when it comes to the issues of racism, they do everything and anything to conceal. Like I said to you, I looked across main channels, and oh yeah, they would call me any names. Like I said, black folks are predominantly, they are the gatekeepers of oppression and white supremacy. It's been like that since time immemorial. But look at that child. There is one of the things I picked from that before I forget is, they had made reports to the school previously. They were glossed over, they were suppressed, they were concealed. Let me tell you the truth, and this is what I've been saying. You know, um, it's quite prevalent that it's a very common practice. Well, I said this before. Let me not, mix my words. Black people are the only race of people that we we train ourselves to accept evilness. We train ourselves to make ill treatment our realities. What do I mean? Do you know the amount of black children that go to school every day in these systems that are violated, unfairly labeled, unfairly labeled? If a black child becomes what we regard as being energetic and a bit playful and stuff, they will label the child. In fact, I've seen extreme cases where a child that's energetic, they would come up with, oh, the child is has got ADHD, because these so-called multi-agencies, they will flag your child. um and there's a blatant disregard for what your cultural background is, what you are coming from. In fact, parents are seen as caretakers, and if you dare to try to challenge or speak your truth, or defend your child and stuff, within the two shakes of a duck still, these so-called multi-agencies, this is why I'm saying that they're a cult, they're a gang. They'll come after you. One of the easiest ways for these multi agencies to discredit um, parents, and to attack parents and children is once they come up with a fraudulent decision against your child. And normally, as a parent, you would want to say no. Why would you da 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 da? They, because it's a multi agency, they will pass around the falsehood. They will absolutely agree upon it. And the next thing they tell the parent is, "Oh, you are interfering with the welfare of your child." And then they throw you on the train tracks of the social services. They start generating what I call fraudulent instruments to discredit you. They build a pseudo profile of a dangerous parent, and and if you're not careful, within the two shakes of a duck, still they can take that child off you and the rest of the children that you may have that don't even attend that school. I'm telling you, man, That's right, my brother. Thank you. Let me pin this on the screen. It says our people in the West will say there is 24 hours light, good roads, security, good health, healthcare, and totally forgetting their children and mental health or their own mental health. Thank you, my brother. And that's the gatekeeping mentality that I talk about. So those black folks that are suffering from judgmental poverty, that have despicable thought process, they're the ones that they're the very aggressive gatekeepers. They jump out at you with their claws. They're very quick to defend their masters, right? Because of what use is it? Of what advantage is it? Let's be honest. You're living somewhere because they give you 24 hours light. It's not even free. You're paying for it. Oh, they got good roads. Oh, there's a train system. Blah 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 blah. But they can snatch our children off us like that. When your children get subjected to subjugating treatment, you're not allowed to speak up. You you're not allowed to speak up. You're not allowed to challenge the system. When it comes to racism, what I've noticed from the Western system is, oh, they get out of their way. They do all they can to suppress and to hide their tracks. Abuse has been, I like this. Thank you, Flourish. Abuse has been normalized in our society. Sometimes one cannot even tell the difference with being normal and abnormal. Thank you. I've said this a million and one times. This is why Phrankleen keeps saying, you see, when you see devastating situations like this poor child who was subjected to this ill treatment, it reminds you or reminds us that we're living in societies where you're being tolerated. That's why I can't get my head around these black folks, man. Oh, Titi want down, she will. Do you understand? You're the ones, even the people whose country you live in, they're not even shouting about their own roads. It's you who came all the way from the motherland Africa here, that's run to the top of the mountain, and you're shouting about um and do you understand? Run to the top of the mountain and start defending their oppressors. You understand? So, as I was saying, all of these is an indication that we live in a system that's not designed for us. Every day, there's a school to prison system that's in place in the systems that we live in. There's a school to prison system, a school to prison system where black children are unfairly, unlawfully targeted and labeled. The healthcare system is weaponized against them. They're unfairly profiled. I was on the train the other day and I remember seeing this, right? I was at the um, train station and there were two police officers, right, coming. And this two young black kids, they were in nice tops and trainers. They looked all right. They were just so they sort of just ran out of the side of the station. They were being playful. I think they were waiting for a couple of friends for no reason. They didn't look suspicious. They will probably look like 15, 16-year olds. They are Jordan, Jordan 1 trainers on, nice denim jeans and shirts. They were nice. They looked clean. And these two police officers were coming. They just stopped one of them in their tracks. Mate, yeah, so can you move back, towards the shutters behind you? Where are you coming from? So one of the kids, the other one got really panicky, right? And the other child kind of spoke up. He had a bit of confidence and said, wait, what's wrong? I'm just playing with my friend. And bear in mind, this is a busy train station. There were loads of races of people, a lot of white folks, Other kids, there were even a bunch of like a 4 or 5 group of white young lads just further down on their skateboards, doing their thing, filming themselves with mobile phone, just flipping their skateboards. They were just having a good time, just further down, yeah, not far from the entrance. And these 2 black kids, they were nicely dressed, and then they were just these 2 police officers were just walking. There was no report, there was no complaint. They weren't doing anything suspicious. I was there, I saw it. The next thing, the police officer got really aggressive, trying to pin these boys against the wall. Like I said, one of them got really panicky. He was almost crying already. And the guy was just like, sorry, can I just use my phone to call my mom, please? Can I just call my mom? And the officer basically was even bullying him that you do not touch your phone until I allow you. You know, all of these was blatant illegalities and broad daylight profiling and violation. But the other kid, I like the other child. I mean, both of them, but the other kid had a bit more confidence, kind of push back that you're not allowed to do that. What exactly have I done wrong? Under what section, what rule in law? What is it that I've done wrong? Why would you want to search me for what? And he goes, yeah. So whose bag is this? I guess that's my bag. Why would you want to? What's wrong? And what is it that we've done wrong? Yeah, what are you doing here? We're waiting for a couple of friends that were coming out of the train station soon. Whilst they were having this back and forth, fortunately, 3 of the friends that they were waiting for came out of the train station. So those ones saw them like, yo, what's going on? And he goes, we're here waiting for you guys. And then this. Fortunately, members of the public, people were already gathering up. And I was so glad. There was a bunch of these black women. There was 2 Jamaican women and some other, African women. People were shouting at them, leave them alone, man. What did they do? So it got, within few minutes, it got really loud. People were shouting at them, you racist, you this, you that. So they got embarrassed. They got really embarrassed. They knew this was about to get out of hand. And they were like, oh, yeah, what did they do? People were shouting. There was this kind of elderly white man. He was on a bike, and he was like, what did they do? What is it? What's the justifiable reason? Why would you want to pin them against, against the wall? What did they do? But those are their friends. What is it that they've done? They couldn't answer that question. They saw these kids and they just decided to prey on them. These things happen round the clock, 24/7. And you know what's funny? If one of those kids had fought back and all that, and they decided to pin them to the floor, the videos go viral. You find a lot of non-black folks be saying online, "Oh, just comply, just conform. Oh, if you didn't have maybe drugs on you, or maybe they had weapons on them, or maybe they did this, or maybe they did that." And this is how a lot of these kids, a lot of our people get killed and get violated every day by the system. These things happen 24/7. And like I was saying, whilst I understand that for the most part, a lot of black folks, they speak up and all that, but the truth is, most of our people, they've basically trained their minds to accept this ill treatment as a normalized way of life. So a lot of black folks have accepted this as their own reality. This thing drives me up the freaking wall, man. This is why, like I say, if we don't have unity amongst ourselves, how can we even begin to fight back? How can we even begin to say we want to challenge this, challenge that? So many black kids are subjected to ill treatment on a daily basis. So many, countless, here in the West. So when you hear multi-agencies, right? These multi-agencies, their primary goal is to connive and protect the establishment. You understand? A child lost his finger. They didn't even bother to, they didn't bother to even chase up on the family and show empathy or anything like that. And trust me, after a few days, what would happen? It would just be a case of this will go quiet. What I noticed with a lot of all the most of the mainstream media outlets, they just reported this in a very brief format, few lines, just left it at that. This is what they do, because They're not interested in our plight. They're not interested in our welfare. Um, Somebody said black folks will accept anything for money. Yeah, to survive or oppress each other. And this is you see, thank you for saying these things. This is what, yeah, somebody's saying, if let me see. Franklin, you are right, 100%. But if our country is good in the first place, we would not even be discussing this topic. See what happened in Texas yesterday, scary to the bone, of course. But you know what, man? I'm telling you, man, for me personally, and I speak for myself, okay? I believe we're all adults. You have your free will, you have your personal lives to make your own decisions and stuff, yeah? I'd rather live in Africa in the not so distant future because you see, what we are sold in the West is illusion of inclusion. You're talking about the good roads, and I get it. When you talk about jobs, some people might say, oh yeah, yeah, the job opportunities and stuff, but it is the hefty price that we pay for those things. Thank you, Lency. Thank you for the super chat. It is the hefty price that we pay for the so-called ill treatment. It's the hefty price. Oh, the diva, thank you.